Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Nina.Ribena's Art Journal Prompts and More. It's June week 5 and so time for a wild card this week where you can choose any piece of artwork with any theme, so really do anything you like. I'm going to be doing a rainbow pride themed page in support of the LBGT community. It's Pride Month here in the UK and I have friends and family members that are part of this community, and so I just want to show my love and support. Now, before I start my page, of course, these are the art cards I produced in last week's video, and I said that I would be giving 6 of these away. So stay tuned to the end of the video because I'll be using a random comment picker to pick 6 winners. So to create my rainbow background, I'm using some of the Dina Wakley media acrylics in rainbow colours. So I'm just putting a thin line down on the top part of my page. You can probably see the pencil line halfway down my page. This is just mixed media paper, my usual size, 7 by 7.5 inches. And I'm using my spatula just to spread that paint down to that halfway line. Then I use a paintbrush. This is one out of an IKEA set just to blend those colours together, and you can see that I'm adding touches of extra paint as and where I think it needs it. So I'm trying to add a bit more pink to the left and yellow, although I fail miserably because of the pink that's already on my paintbrush, but yellow in the right hand corner, and just trying to blend these out. And I just continue fiddling around with my page, adding more colours as and where I need them. So adding a touch of orange here, but you can see that the top half is the warm colours, so pinks, reds, orange, yellows. As soon as I'm happy with that, I turn my page over and I start working with cool colours on the other side. So you can see here that I'm repeating the process again, as I say, this time using cool colours. Splotch there, pulled out too much paint, so I'm just wiping a little bit off. But the only reason I'm using the Dina Wakley acrylic paints is because they've got that really fine nozzle. So it just gives me a bit more control over how much paint, supposedly, how much paint is coming out of the tube. So I'm just repeating the process again, using my palette knife just to spread that paint over the page, starting off with the lightest colour first and then working my way up to the dark colours, and then again using my brush here just to blend all of those colours together. I absolutely love this background, it's just beautiful. I love the colours, and you'll see that I just continue working on this just to get a really lovely blend. Now in a moment you'll see that I just take the paint brushes with the leftover paint already on them, and just in really quick movements I just go along the central line, and that's just to blend those colours together really nicely. So I start off with the paintbrush that I was using for the cool colours first, and then I do exactly the same, go over the centre line again with the paintbrush that I was using for the warm colours. Now I absolutely love that background as it is, but I just want to add another layer just to, take it to that next level. So again, I'm just introducing the same colours and repeating the process, just blending it together with my brush this time. And you can see that, I'm only using a little bit of paint. I don't want too much because it would just completely cover up what is already there. I just want this to add to the background. I absolutely love that background just as it is, and I really wish that I'd taken a photograph of it so that I could have printed it out and used it in other projects, but unfortunately I didn't think about it at the time. So now I want to add some more colour and interest to the central line of the background. So I'm using a very small and very flat paintbrush here, just so that I've got control over the thickness of the lines that I'm adding. I'm using a very small amount of paint on a completely dry paintbrush. So it's again starting off with the cool colours first, the green, the blue, and then the aubergine, and then I add some of the warm colours as well. And this is just to add sort of like a block of colour in the centre of the page. Okie dokie, so that's the background finished, and now I'm using some scrap pieces of mixed media paper, and I'm taking a much wider brush this time just to add some blocks of colour in all of the colours that I've used already. I'm using a very dry paintbrush again, and you'll notice as well that I'm only going in one direction whilst applying this paint, and that's just so that I can get some stripes just to add a bit of texture to those plain backgrounds. So I've got 3 heart punches here, and I'm just cutting out some shapes from each of those colours. So my hearts are all punched out, and before I start gluing things down, I want to outline my page. I'm using a Prima oil pastel in blue black. These just smudge really nicely, and I'm just applying a thin line to the edge and then smudging that with my finger. Now I want to outline the hearts as well, just so that they stand out more on the page, and I'm using some archival ink in black, which I'm just applying with a piece of cut and dry foam, and then I'm going to start putting my page together. I want my hearts to have a bit of dimension so that they're not completely flat to the page. So I'm just using a pencil here just to curl them at the edges. The pencil was too big for the really small heart, so I just use a skewer instead. I'm using Fabri-Tac to glue my hearts down because it dries really quickly, and you can see that I've decanted it into a needle tip bottle. That's just to make it easier to control. Now I've spent quite a bit of time placing my hearts before I start doing any sticking, and you'll notice as well that I start off with the large hearts first, then work on the medium-sized ones before moving on to the very small ones last. I do want to overlap some of the hearts as well, again just to give my page some interest, and me being me, I just keep adding and adding and adding until I'm happy with the overall composition. And this is the part that probably took the longest because I'm really trialing these hearts out, as you can see, to make sure that I'm happy with their placement before I stick them down. So my hearts are all glued down. I just absolutely love that assortment of rainbow colours. It just looks so pleasing to my eye. And so the last step is just to add my sentiment, which is be proud. I'm using this old typewriter alphabet set. I picked this up very inexpensively from Hobbycraft. Now I find it's easier just to group these together using small elastic bands. These are just the kids' loom bands. They're perfect for this kind of thing. I want to use some black embossing powder to stamp my sentiment, just so that it's nice and bold. So you can see here I'm just using my embossing stamp pad just to apply the sentiment before adding my black embossing powder, and then using a small paintbrush just to get rid of any excess lines and stray powder that I don't want to be there before I heat set it with my heat tool just to give it that lovely glossy finish. here's my finished art journal page glued into my journal. I used some of the red double-sided score tape to glue this in, which is just incredibly strong. This is 6mm, by the way, for anybody who would like to know. So as I said at the beginning of the video, this is just my way of showing support to the LBGT community, because of course it's Pride Month in the UK this month. I have members of the community in my own family. I also have a lot of gay friends, and you know, I'm proud to know you, and to my son Alex, I am so proud to be your mum. Now, there has been an awful lot of publicity recently of attacks to this community, and it just absolutely breaks my heart, because you know, if anything happened to my son or my friends, I would be absolutely devastated. So as I say, just my way of saying that I'm proud of you, and that you should be proud of yourselves as well. So anyway, let me just put this to one side and let's get on with the draw. Okie dokie, so let's pick a winner for these art cards. These are the art cards that I made last week in last week's video, and of course I'm giving 6 of these away. If you are one of the lucky winners, I'm going to use a YouTube random comment picker in a second to pick 6 winners. If you could either send me a private message via Facebook or email me, nina.ribena@outlook.com. I'll leave that email address across the screen and in the details below, but as I say, I'm going to use a YouTube random comment picker. Here it is. I've put the video URL into the search bar here, load comments. So 220 people commented on the video last week. I've got a feeling a few of those were mine. So let's randomly pick winner number 1. Good luck. And it's Marsha ZC Creations. So that's number 1. So I think I've already got your address, Marsha. Mary Ellen Cook Mainig, number 2. Congratulations, Mary Ellen. Number 3, oh, that's mine. Hang on a second. That's because I've replied to some of the comments. Let's choose again. Grumpet JV. Congratulations, Grumpet. What a fabulous name. Number 4 is Rhonda Chapman. So congratulations, Rhonda. Number 5 is Almut. Oh, congratulations, Almut. And number 6 is Laurie Padilla. So congratulations, Laurie. So some of you here, that some of the winners, I've already got your addresses, but if anybody else isn't already in contact with me, just pop me a message with your address and what I will be doing. Here's one of the cards as an example. Now, you've got 2 artist trading cards on here, and it is entirely up to you whether you decide to keep it as a postcard or cut them out and have them as 2 separate artist trading cards. I will be putting some postage stamps on the back and then writing the recipient's address. And that way, I should just post it out as it is. You'll get all of the lovely, you know, postmarks and things on it, which I just think is really nice to have. So congratulations to all you winners. So let me just put that to one side and bring back my journal page. Just to recap, it's a wild card prompt this week, which means that you can create anything you like, any theme, anything goes. So I really look forward to seeing what everybody else decides to post in the Facebook group. Of course, if you enjoyed my page this week, as always, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up, because it really does let YouTube know that you like what I'm doing. And let me know what you think in the comments below. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again soon, and congratulations to the winners. Bye for now.